Dehumanization Station. I am your host, Christopher Jones, aka Dr. X. This is just a quick reflection on Black history before we get the Isball Life series kicking off. And I just wanted to say that we need to understand that Black history is everyone's history. Black history should not be relegated to 1 month. It should be 24/7, 365. I tell people I'm happy, at least I'm in England, so I get to celebrate 2 Black History Months, right? In October and in February for the States. But again, just having it for a month doesn't do it justice. It doesn't tell us the real story behind so many contributions from so many different types of people from that are African descent. We invented mathematics, science, philosophy, technology, you name it. We've had it. We've done it. It's been replicated, appropriated, or stolen and claimed as its own by different types of people, especially Europeans. Right? If we learn more of our history and African history specifically, we start to learn how we made so many contributions. And until we have an idea of how the system creates programs us to internalize self-hatred towards the self and towards other Black Africans, right? Until we understand that this programming is a form of dehumanization, right? And I think it's very important that when we think about dehumanization, we think about it in ways that it impacts everybody. Right? It impacts the people, the targets, and impacts the perpetrators. Right? Because people have this sense of either inferiority or superiority. And the system people talk about needs to transform. It really just needs to be dismantled. But the problem is what Professor Molefic Asante says: one's culture creates one's institutions. And we know the typical that European culture is very, I'm just saying, it shreds insecurity. It shreds a certain type of ideas like individualism, elitism, which doesn't champion communalism, doesn't champion an egalitarian society, really. It doesn't give us equal opportunities, right? That's why there's so many disparities. But what it does is, because if you don't make it to the top, it's your fault. That's individualism. That's meritocracy. If we work hard, that means you'll be successful. But what is success? What does that look like? It looks different between different people. But we do know what the lack of resources looks like and how that impacts different communities. When we understand that certain communities benefit over others because of those opportunities, because of resources, then we can move forward, right? But it all starts with understanding that people of Black African descent have contributed so much to this world and deserve to be championed and spotlighted because of just this idea that there's such a rich history that I wish we were all given a chance to be educated on, because I know within my PhD, I didn't have to learn the stuff that I know now. I could have just done a couple of, went over the theory that I did, the methods and the data that I did, and I wouldn't have to learn the African history that I do know. But I took a step further, and that actually enhanced my PhD, that enhanced my life. Not just my PhD and my research, but just enhanced how I am as a person and what I want to do moving forward and how I want to be as a human being. And it just helped shaped the rehumanist in me, right? I understand that I'm always working on being a better person. That is the rehumanization. That is the process. It is a process, right? And it is for everybody, targets and perpetrators in society. Until we can actually try to transform or dismantle this system, it'll be very hard to move forward. But in my opinion, it all starts with people of Black African descent being championed, learning the history, learning things that have been erased, right? Giving us a sense of self-esteem, self-efficacy that is positive and that wants us to grow, wants us to be something better, not just your stereotypical, athlete, musician, celebrity. We are much more, we do much more, and we can be much more. But in a world that's becoming more international, more diverse in different types of spaces, the more we need to work together. And the best way for that is to understand our history and to understand that the higher the diversity, the more likely, I would say, the increase of outcomes, of positive outcomes, or the more people feel a sense of belonging because you're learning from somebody else. You're being curious, right? But again, it's this culture of domination, this culture that doesn't allow people to be themselves. We need to keep going and keep moving in a way where, man, we can just all love each other, but you can't do that until you love yourself. What's happening now in America is interesting. I don't know who's going to win. It could be Trump. But I saw a recent post that was really kind of got to me. It's that Cornel West is who I'm with, right? But it's interesting how there's a silence around Cornel. Cornel's an activist, challenging Palestine, wants people to work together, wants to help people from low-income backgrounds, but no one's championing that. He's also a believer in Jesus, which is interesting too, and he's also a Christian. And America's a predominantly Christian country. So where are the activists at to champion him? It's very interesting. Do we choose, in my opinion, the lesser of two evils? It's a tough one. It is a tough one. But I'll leave y'all with that. But back to the point, Black history is everyone's history. If you learn your history, you erase the mystery, like Mr. Small says, but we just keep going. Love yourself, love others. But I am excited to announce that Is Ball Life series is coming. Please tune in. Most of my people who follow me are athletes, so I would assume that there'd be an increase of downloads. Please share. Please tune in. Please vibe with us. And yeah, but thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for just following the platform. Yeah, we keep going. One love.